Walk with me.
Give ear unto the I am, O ye mighty. Give unto the I am glory and strength. Give unto the I am glory due his name. Worship the I am in the beauty of holiness. The voice of the I am is upon the water. The God of glory thundereth. The I am is upon many waters. The voice of the I am is powerful. The voice of the I am is full of majesty. The voice of the I am breaketh the cedars. Yea, the I am breaketh cedars of Lebanon. He maketh them also skip like a calf. Lebanon and Syrian like a young unicorn, which is a rhinoceros. The voice of the I am divideth the flames of fire. The voice of the I am shaketh the wilderness. The I am shaketh the wilderness of Kadesh. Psalms chapter 29. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have sway over the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish thou me and my seed forever, that we go not astray henceforth and forevermore. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, those of you on this platform and those shared platforms, walking with Mr. Clay. Yes, I'm Mr. Clay. But anyway, we thank God for those of you that have been with us from the beginning. We thank God for those of you that have been after that and there's about and here and there. We thank God for you. And those of you who have just subscribed, we thank God for you too. And also those of you that are about to subscribe. Yes, may the blessing of knowledge, wisdom, and insight be yours. Yes, as we delve and walk through the scriptures, even those that are put away from mankind. And we thank God for you. Yes. Okay. We're in the book of Jasher. The book of Jasher. Oh, and one word, the video on yesterday was of poor quality because of some, I guess, to put it in a nutshell, technical difficulties. You know, resolution could be the colors contrasting, not conflicting, not contrasting, conflicting. I mean, those could be of those two varieties, should I say. And we're in verse 56 of the 31st chapter of Jasher. Jasher. Yes. 31, Jasher chapter 31 chapter of Jasher. And we left off at verse 55 and beginning verse 56, how that the sons of Esau, his young son, came and went as they had peace between each other. No, of Haran. One of the servants or young sons of Haran went before Jacob, and he came to Esau. And this is what he said. And they came unto Esau and said unto him, Thus saith thy brother and relative, thy mother's brother Laban, the son of Bethuel, saying, Thou hast heard what Jacob thy brother has done unto me, who first came to me naked and bare. And I went to meet him, and brought him to my house with honor. And I made him and I gave him my 2 daughters for wives, and also my 2 handmaids. Now here's Jacob alone by himself, and he had maybe his donkeys, his mule or whatever, and he went to his sister's brother's house, even Laban. But the fact is that Jacob fell among thieves which were employed by Esau. Now Esau knew this, and you can read that in the previous chapter. And God blessed him in verse 58, and God blessed him on my account, and he increased abundantly and had sons, daughters, and maidservants. And he also had immense stocks of flocks and herds and camels and asses, also silver and gold and abundance. And when he saw that his wealth increased, he left me while as I went to shear my sheep, and he rose up and fled in secrecy, which is true. He figured while he's busy shearing his sheep, I better make my move now, or else he's going to either probably put some type of force on me or force me to stay with his daughters. But really, they were his wives. Once a woman becomes a man's wife, she no longer belongs to the father in that way. She no longer belongs to her family. She belongs to the man, and the man belongs to her. That's right. You are the mother and father. You are the head of your house, which are you two. And if you have any offspring, then they become you are their family. Yes, some of us, we get it wrong. We'll have a wife or a husband, and then they go home to mama and all this other stuff. No, that doesn't work like that. Unless if he's not doing nothing violently against you, or she's not doing anything, cheating or anything like that, or, being an extortioner, then you have no leg to stand on. If the nail is in a sure place, don't get rid of it. We'll put it that way. That's to the men. Now, verse 60. And he lifted up his wives and children upon camels, and he led away all his cattle and property, which he acquired in my land. And he lifted up his countenance to go to his father Isaac and to the land of Canaan. Now, we understand that camels, that gives us a clue that this was, although it was rich and it was plenteous in trees and fruits and vegetables and all kind of stuff, that this land also had desert or semi-desert or whatever you want to call it, because camels are there. Camels travel vast lands, hardly even drinking any water. So therefore, that's a clue as to where the land of Canaan is. Now, and he did not suffer me to kiss my daughters and their children. This is a shyster, as they put it. And he did not suffer me to kiss my daughters and their children. And he led my daughters as captive, taken by the sword. Now, he made it seem more violently. You see how some people just can pump stuff up? Now, Esau is the judge of this now. They have gone to Esau, relaying this message to Esau. Now, this message is being judged by Esau as to his brother's criminality. And this is how lawyers do some people, and this is how those who testify falsely. Truth with the lie. Now, and he led my daughters as captive, taken by the sword, and he also stole my gods, and he fled. Yes, his witchcraft, his voodoo, or whatever he was doing. He's consulting evil spirits. He's consulting spirits other than that of the Most High, because you got to realize the thing after the flood, the law was being taught. The law had came from over to the flood by Noah, and then it was taught to his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and then spread out to their sons. And it seemed like the only one that had really, really emphasized this to their sons, according to the narrative, was Shem. And still, many were led astray by evil spirits who have sway over the minds and hearts of men. Now, verse 62, and now I have left him in the mountain of the brook of Jabbok, him and all belonging to him, he lacketh nothing. And if it be with thy wish to go to him, then go, and there wilt thou find him, and thou canst do unto him as thy soul desireth. And Laban's messengers came and told Esau all these things. Now, it was Yahweh that did these things for Esau. It was Yahuwah that blessed him. Either name you want to use. That blessed him. He took the speckled sheep, and he took them and put them under a rod, and they multiplied, and he gave Laban the clean. See, Laban thought he was being slick, getting all these good-looking, one-colored sheep. But the people saw that Jacob's sheep was fat, and they were huge, and they were, good for meat and good to shear, because the bigger the sheep, the more wool you're going to get off of them. Also, see, sheep serves many purposes. Now, this is why it's good to have land. You can have sheep, goats. And all the things that you see today, you can grow cotton or some type of fibrous plants to make all kind of fabrics and different things. You might find iron and some of everything inside the soil. land. But you have to have a vision for the land. You have to explore your land, even if it's only 40 acres or 5 or 10 acres. What's in my land that I could use to make money or prosper or to enhance my own life? What's in my land that I can use? You can take land from nothing and you can develop everything: pottery, clay. You can hunt on your land. Yes, this is why they keep it from you, because you won't be going to the grocery stores as much. You won't be buying furniture as much. That one man or that one entity cannot sit up there and play you as a fool because you have land. And you can sleep wherever you want on that land. Whether you want to be in a tent or whether you want to be up in a tree or whatever you want to do, it's yours until the day you die. Then that's where your offspring or those who succeed you have to deal with that. Now, 65, verse 65 of the 31st chapter of Jasher. And Esau hastened and took his children and servants and the souls of his household, being 60 men, and he went and assembled all the children of Seir the Horite and their people, being 340 men. Whoa, that's a lot. And took all this number of 400 men and drawn swords, and he went unto Jacob to smite him. Did you dare do this to my uncle Haran, my mother's brother? Verse 66. And Esau divided his numbers into several parts. Here is Jacob just traveling with his sons, his daughters, manservants, and they haven't even been taught to war yet. All they do is just building a community. That's it. Under Jacob. Jacob is a king at this point, just as Esau is a king. Haran was a king. These are what you call kings. Don't believe the hype. Don't get over the hijack. These are what they call kings in those days. So, now, King Jacob. To put it plainly, I mean, you think about it. When and Jacob, he is the law of that land. They all had to begin to circumcise. They had to obey the commandments, statutes. So we have to look at the way of God is that of government. See, you go into religion and all these things, but you are under a government. Not these people that's trying to way over somewhere else, overseas somewhere, dictating to you how to worship God and everything. God have appointed prophets, teachers, preachers, everything. He have appointed all these people that people that they're over might prosper. Not only prosper in their physical lives, but in their spiritual relationship with the Most High. God is a government. He has many kingdoms, but yet there is only one. God, the Bible, is telling how to run a government. But the governments that you see today are so corrupt. The people have gone and taken the money of the people and squandered upon themselves and using all kind of gaslightings and deceitfulness. Yes, this has happened. And then some even using the Bible to justify their hideous deeds. These are the worst crooks. Yes. And people being, in verse 66, and Esau divided his number into several parts. And he took 60 men of his children and servants and souls. This is the kingdom of Esau. This is Edom. Okay, or however you want to call it. As one head. And have gave them in care Eliphaz. Now, you have to realize there are villages in that kingdom. There are governors. There are rulers over the villages of tens, hundreds, and thousands. See, this has happened way before Jacob was brought or became Israel, or it became even servants of Mitzrayim. Now, these have already happened, and you best believe even the laws were lost then. They were taken, probably stolen from them. All kind of things. It's just like a Bible taken from you and you forget who you are. And God had to reissue all these things and reteach the children of Jacob. Now, let's continue. Verse 67. And the remaining heads he gave to the care of the 6 sons of Seir, the Horite, and he placed every man over his generations and children. Here we go again. And the whole of his camp went as it was, and Esau went amongst them toward Jacob, and he conducted them with speed. Now, it was just like being in, you see, Africa, many families, many kingdoms, they're there. Well, I'm just speaking it in a rhetorical term as far as kingdoms. You call them countries, governors, presidents. That's Western stuff. Elected officials. Now, these people they were living fine. Yeah, they had wars and all that stuff, but that was nothing. But as soon as they were colonized, they were divided. These people were divided to the point where they did not even know who they are. Many are mixed from running from colonizers and wars and slavery. And the children or the offspring of those who were running lost their whole history and are told of another history. You know, even here in the United States, many, as history is reported backwards, they've lost their whole history. Many are confused and information is trickling and many people think, and then it turns out some new information comes up and you say, I thought it was this way. This is the way it is. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28. Regardless of what anybody says, that's what it is. And we still continue to blaspheme, continue to disown the Most High, even the creator of all mankind and all the earth and all the heavens. Now, verse 68. And the whole of this camp went as it was, and Esau went amongst them toward Jacob, and he conducted them with speed. And Laban's messenger departed from Esau and went to the land of Canaan, and they came to the house of Rebekah, the mother of Jacob and Esau. And they told her, saying, Behold, thy son Esau has gone against his brother Jacob with 400 men, and he heard that he was coming, and he is gone to make war with them, and to smite them, and to take all that he has. And Rebekah hastened and sent 72 men from the servants of Isaac to meet Jacob on the road. And see, Rebekah was powerful. That young woman, 30 years lesser than her husband, he has really given her a mind of a queen. Come on here. Woman, if you're going to have a husband, make sure you have a wise husband. I ain't talking about money. I'm talking about one who deals with men and in this world circumspectly and with wisdom, running his household, running you and the children, that the children respect their mother. Because these days you find out children will always go with the weaker one, which is the mother. The one who will fall for their antics and their ways and their things. But Rebekah was a whole different story here. She said, no, you're not going to do Jacob that way. 72. And these messengers went on the road to meet Jacob, and they met him in the road of the brook on the opposite side of the brook Jabbok. And Jacob said when he saw them, this camp is destined to be to me from God. Who are you to say that? God didn't say that was from him. And Jacob called the name of that place Machnaim. 73. And Jacob knew all his father's people, and he kissed him, and he embraced them, and came with them. And Jacob asked them concerning his father and mother, and they said they were well. Now look, he knew all his father's people. And the messenger said unto Jacob, Rebekah, thy mother has sent us to thee, saying, I have heard, my son, that thy brother Esau has gone forth against thee on the road with men from children of Seir, the Horite. And therefore, my son, hearken to my voice. See with thy counsel what thou wilt do. And when he cometh up to thee, supplicate him. Do not speak rashly to him. Now see, this Rebekah telling her son, this is how you're going to deal with Esau. A soft answer turns away wrath. Ha ha! Oh, glory to God. Yes. All right. And give him a present from what thou possessest. Now, you not only have to turn out bad when you know even the rules of war tell you, don't fight unless you know you're going to win. Come on here. See, this is what these major countries do. They will pick a war with the lesser people in which they know they're going to win. The wars that you see today in the big major powers that are going, they only pick the wars because they know how to win, whether they do proxy or whether they do any other way. Pumping weapons and everything into them. But if you know you're not going to win, why go to war? And if you're going to win, win. Other than that, we're going to negotiate, brother, until I can get up stuff enough to whoop your behind. All right, now, and from what God has favored with thee, in verse 76, and when he asked thee concerning thy affairs, conceal nothing from him. In other words, tell him the truth. Perhaps he might turn from his anger against thee, and thou wilt thereby save thy soul. So you got to realize, Esau was a deceitful, and he was very cunning. He hunted. And thus we can see that his even offspring today is in them, that they would hunt and be deceitful, and they use guile to subdue their prey, and then they may use force. For it is thy duty to honor him, for he is thy elder brother. In other words, he is thy elder brother by birth, not by birthright. And when Jacob heard the words of his mother, which the messengers had spoken to him, Jacob lifted up his voice and wept bitterly, and he did as his mother then commanded him. Yes, we want to do what God says do. Soft answer turns away wrath. Sometimes even though your elder brother or the elder might be a fool, still, because of what God is about to do, it's best to humble yourself and just deal with it and let God rule in that area. Because each one of them have a part to play. Jacob and Esau has a part to play on this earth and this planet that we live on today. And it is culminating even as we speak. And getting to that point of that great notable day where Jacob will be the beginning and Esau the end. And with that, we're going to say peace.